All right, let's do example 5 and 6 in this video. For f of x equals negative 3x squared, find a simplified form of the difference quotient. Then complete the following table. All right, so the difference quotient formula is f of x plus h minus f of x. That is going to be the difference in y's. That's like y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Remember, it was x plus h minus x. So x is just canceled out, leaving us with only h. So the difference quotient formula has only h in the bottom. So let's plug in. Let's find what it is and simplify this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to plug in x plus h into the function, okay? X plus h is going into the function, okay? So what will I have? The first thing in the numerator will be negative 3 parenthesis x plus h squared. So do you see what I just did? I replaced that x by x plus h. And everything else is the same. All right, now writing down the rest of it, minus f of x, right? What's f of x? F of x is negative 3x squared. Okay, and all over h. I need to simplify this. Very often, you will do x plus h squared. Okay, that is not x squared plus h squared. Do not ever do that, okay? We don't want that. That's not true. X plus h squared, and I try to talk about this a lot in my 161. You're going to have to FOIL this, you guys. If you FOIL it, you get x squared plus xh plus another xh plus h squared. So what you will get is x squared plus, you have 2xh, so 2xh plus h squared. So make a note. I want you to know this and memorize this, that x plus h squared is equal to x squared plus 2x. Ah, goodness, I'm out of room. Let me move it down here. 2xh plus h squared. Okay, I need you to know that. Okay, because you will see this very often when we are finding difference quotient of a quadratic function. You will see x plus h squared, and we don't want to FOIL it out every time we see it. If you know it, we can just keep on using it. Okay, so let's simplify this difference quotient. That's equal to negative h is still in the bottom, you guys. Negative 3 parenthesis. Now what I'm doing is I am writing what this is, okay? I'm going to go ahead and say x plus h squared is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. And I'll close the parenthesis and look at the next term. I'm seeing minus a negative 3x squared, so I'll change that to plus 3x squared, okay? All right. The next thing that I will do is I will distribute this negative 3 to all these 3 terms inside. If I do that, I will get negative 3x squared minus negative 3 times 2. If you do that, you will get negative 6xh. And lastly, minus 3h squared. I'm done distributing. Let's write down the rest of it. Plus 3x squared all over h. All right, some things will cancel out now. If you notice, there is negative 3x squared. There is a positive 3x squared, so those are canceled out. And the only thing that I have left is negative 6xh minus 3h squared over h. And if you notice, they all have h. This one has h, and the numerator also, the 3h squared also has h. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away their h. I'm going to divide both terms by h. So your final answer is negative 6x minus 3h. Because one of the h got canceled out. If you want to factor out the h on the numerator and then cross out that h, that's okay too. That's what I just did. It is the same thing. So as long as you take away one of the h's from both of the terms in the numerator, we simplify this difference quotient. So this is the simplified difference quotient. Okay. Now they wanted us to use this simplified difference quotient, negative 6x minus 3h, and fill out this table. They're giving us some x and h values. So for the first one, x is 3, h is 2. So if I plug in x of 3 and h of 2, that's going to be, I don't think I want to write the whole thing. Hold on, I'm going to try to just type the whole thing in my calculator so that I can just get a simple answer. Negative 6 times 3 minus 3 times 2. What's that? I got negative 24. Okay, let's plug in another one. So the difference quotient is negative 6x plus negative 3h. So let's plug in the x of 3 and h of 1. So that's going to be, I hear my baby crying downstairs, negative 21. All right, keep going. Negative 6 times 3 minus 3 times 0.1. Can you see what they are doing with the h's? H is getting smaller and smaller. H is getting closer to 0. What's the difference quotient approaching? But that limit talk is for next Tuesday. So let me continue. I'm going to fill out this table. All right. The next one I got, negative 18.3. Okay. One more. Negative 6 times 3 minus 3 times 0.01. I feel like we're getting closer and closer to negative 18. Just changing the number on my calculator, you guys. What did you get? You know, I was using a free app on my calculator and it's making me watch in a commercial. So I'm going to just grab my scientific calculator. Negative 6 times 3 minus 3 times 0.01. I got negative 18.03. I can see that limit as h approaches 0 of this difference quotient, hold on, of this difference quotient, negative 6 times 3 minus 3h, I think is approaching negative 18, I think. But, you know, that talk can wait. That limit thing can wait. But for right now, we're just filling out the table. But I think the difficult part is simplifying. It's just all that algebra part. You know what difference quotient is? It's just finding the difference quotient, simplifying it step by step. And once you get that difference quotient, we can just plug it into the, plug in the values they're giving us. So let's try one more. Oh goodness, this one's a little more complicated. So I have f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 1. They want you to find the simplified form of the difference quotient. So here we go. Difference quotient is f of x plus h minus f of x. And that's going to get divided by h. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to plug in x plus h everywhere I see x, here and there. Okay? That's going to be f of x plus h. So it goes x plus h squared minus 4 times x plus h plus 1. I just wrote the whole thing is f of x plus h. Okay? Let me keep going. Minus f of x, right? I need to do minus f of x. And f of x is x squared minus 4x plus 1. All divided by h. Guys, I am so glad that you saw this in Math 161. Quick note. Note that x plus h squared is equal to what? You know what it is. That is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. So I'm going to use that to simplify that part. I will have x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. I will distribute this negative 4 minus 4x minus 4h. Bring down that plus 1. And let's distribute the negative sign to the f of x. Minus x squared plus 4x minus 1 all over h. Oh dear. If you and I did something right, then a lot of things will cancel out. For example, positive x squared and negative x squared. Those are gone. Gone. What else? Here is negative 4x, and there is a positive 4x, so those are also gone. Anything else? Oh, yes, I noticed one more thing. There's a plus 1, and there's a negative 1. Those are gone. So a whole bunch of things canceled out. Only thing that's left is 2xh plus h squared and the minus 4h. And they're all getting divided by h. So notice they each all have h. So I'm going to just go ahead and divide all of them by h. Okay, divide all of them by h. So that will be 2x plus h squared divided by h is h. Minus 4h divided by h is just 4. So this is the simplest or simplified difference quotient. Later, we're going to go ahead and do limit as h approaches 0 of this simplified difference quotient. And that is how we're going to find derivative in section 1.4 next Tuesday. But just you need to practice your simplifying difference quotient skills this week so that we can use that starting next week. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop this video and then I will come back and record examples 7 and 8 in a separate